A new Netflix docuseries about Sean Diddy Combs is making headlines for its never-before-seen footage of the music mogul in the days before his arrest. Now, Combs is threatening legal action against the streamer for airing the unauthorized footage. Behind the series is Combs' longtime rap rival 50 Cent and director Alexandria Stapleton.
In this moment, the transcript shows the line between revenge and justice completely disappearing. At the center of it is Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson, who's released a 4-part Netflix series called Sean Combs: The Reckoning. According to the transcript, this project is presented not just as a documentary, but as a targeted takedown, built around private recordings of Diddy from just 6 days before his arrest. The footage, as described, captures him falling apart in real time, meeting with his legal team, scrambling for help from someone known for handling the darkest situations, and trying to keep control as everything around him collapses. And the detail the transcript stresses most is that Diddy allegedly recorded every moment himself.
Legal team, does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps. What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea.
According to the transcript, we're looking at a man who spent decades building an image of absolute power, champagne parties, private jets, and a constant circle of stars, only to have his own habit of filming everything turn against him. The transcript says the footage used by the Reckoning team, which Netflix states was legally verified, shows Combs in a Harlem hotel room in a frantic, worn-down state, shouting into the phone as his legal team tries to manage a wave of accusations. At one point, he reportedly says, "We are losing," his voice shaking. He then asks for someone who understands, in his words, the dirtiest of dirty business in media and propaganda. The transcript frames this as a sign that he believed the public battle was slipping away before it even began. With 50 Cent involved, the transcript suggests this footage becomes more than material. It becomes the centerpiece of a made-for-primetime showdown. But the transcript also insists this moment isn't only about a powerful figure in crisis. It describes it as the peak of a feud that has lasted more than 20 years. Sources quoted in the transcript claim Jackson didn't simply find this footage. They say he bought it, using connections close to Combs to secure recordings that Combs himself had reportedly hoped to use in a future tell-all. The transcript points out an added twist. Combs had been documenting his life since he was a teenager, gathering years of personal material to shape his own story. Instead, according to the transcript, 50 Cent managed to use that same archive to strike first. The timing, as the transcript notes, is especially harsh. It states that Combs is currently serving a 50-month sentence in a low-security New Jersey facility, while his legal appeals remain open, and that many accusers continue to file suits alleging a range of misconduct.
On a documentary, I think a lot of people thought that he was just joking around. It turns out he's not, so this is actually a real project that's being made under his G-Unit move.
Here's where the situation becomes even more tangled. The transcript says that while Netflix maintains the project isn't a takedown, Combs' legal team is arguing the exact opposite. According to the transcript, his attorneys have sent cease and desist letters accusing Netflix of using material they claim was never meant to be public and may have been obtained improperly. They point to footage that reportedly includes conversations with Combs' lawyers as evidence of that. Netflix, meanwhile, is standing firm. Director Alexandria Stapleton is quoted saying the production team acquired the recordings legally and is committed to protecting the source who provided them. But as the transcript suggests, this fight isn't just about rules or contracts, it's about perception. And the perception is rough. The documentary doesn't simply revisit the accusations. It presents them as part of a long-running pattern, one tied to power, control, and the idea that normal limits didn't apply to him.
Get out in front of this and try to persuade Netflix not to come forward with it. I think it's an interesting argument because what they're claiming is, Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, has had a long-standing, animosity against Diddy and sort of vice versa. And because he's at the helm, they're arguing this can't be taken seriously. This should sort of be seen as propaganda. And one of the things that Netflix hit back with was, yes, he's the executive producer. He doesn't necessarily have creative control. And that's something
The transcript also brings up the impact on Combs' family. His twins and other relatives have shown public support, even appearing at his trial, but insiders quoted in the transcript say the documentary has shaken those closest to him. There are ongoing, unconfirmed reports that his children were upset after seeing early cuts of the film, especially the parts showing his breakdown in the days before his arrest. These are the same kids who recently delivered emotional pleas for leniency, and now, according to the transcript, they're confronted with a very different picture of their father. Someone who seemed focused on shaping the narrative rather than facing what was coming. The timing adds another layer. The transcript notes that the release arrives just as Combs' legal team prepares an appeal. New civil cases continue to surface, and public interest in the story is at an all-time high. IT also raises the question of motive. Is 50 Cent doing this for the victims, as he says, or is this a long-running feud hitting its peak? The two have a well-documented history of tension, and the transcript highlights several moments that fueled it. From Diddy's controversial shopping spree comment at Chris Lighty's wedding, which 50 interpreted as a veiled proposition, to claims that Combs was involved with 50's former partner Daphne Joy and was allegedly paying her a monthly stipend connected to his private events. The transcript even references leaked audio in which Combs is heard criticizing Joy for not responding to him and threatening to stop payments unless she complied. Taken together, the transcript suggests that the release of this documentary, right when Combs is incarcerated and unable to respond in real time, feels particularly pointed.
Continued to engage in all these freak-offs with him, and he sounds really pissed off.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm gonna be You'll have a rude awakening.
The transcript says the legal fight is only getting more intense. Combs' team has already suggested they may take further action against Netflix, arguing that using his private recordings, especially conversations with his attorneys, violates attorney-client privilege. Netflix isn't budging. According to the transcript, the streamer says the documentary serves a purpose: to highlight what they describe as a long-running pattern of troubling behavior. And the series, as described in the transcript, goes well beyond the meltdown footage. It reportedly touches on everything from the 1996 Shakur case, where former associate Keefe D. claims Combs offered a $1 million bounty, to the account of Joy Dickerson-Neal, who says she was recorded and exploited without consent in the early 90s. The transcript also mentions claims from insiders that Combs was moving large sums of money overseas in the days before his arrest, a detail they say could come back up in ongoing RICO investigations. But the transcript points out that the most unsettling part of the reckoning isn't what's shown, it's what's suggested. If Combs really documented as much of his life as insiders claim, what else is sitting unseen? The documentary hints at more unreleased material, footage from his private events, behind-the-scenes moments with well-known figures, and conversations that may never have been meant for public ears. And with 50 Cent positioned as the driving force behind this release, the transcript raises the question not just of what we're being shown, but what he's choosing to hold back. As the transcript frames it, this is only the beginning. The first wave of recordings is out. The legal disputes are escalating. And somewhere in a New Jersey prison cell, Sean Combs is watching his reputation fall apart one clip at a time. The transcript then steps back and asks why 50 Cent's documentary feels less like entertainment and more like a precision strike. Sources referenced in the transcript insist this isn't only about exposing wrongdoing, it's also deeply personal. According to them, the meltdown recordings might as well have 50's fingerprints on them, not because he created the footage, but because of how strategically it's being used. The documentary doesn't simply reveal Combs' alleged misconduct. It uses his own words, his panic, his phone calls, his desperation as a weapon. And the timing, the transcript suggests, is deliberate. Combs is incarcerated, his lawyers are swamped, his family is trying to manage the fallout, and 50 Cent can simply sit back while the footage speaks for him. But the transcript claims the most damaging part isn't any single clip, it's the pattern the clips point to. A pattern of alleged payoffs, frantic calls to crisis fixers, and years spent controlling narratives, now unraveling through recordings he created himself.
propaganda. So I think what Diddy was trying to say was, there's nothing to be done legally on the criminal front because no indictment had been dropped yet. But in the court of public opinion, it seemed like he wanted to take a more aggressive approach to put a certain message out there, and his attorney seemed to kind of think.
According to the transcript, the core of the controversy centers on the recordings made just days before Combs' arrest. In those clips, he's heard speaking with his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, trying to figure out how to respond to the growing accusations. At one point, he says they need to find somebody that'll work with us, insisting it has to be someone familiar with the dirtiest of dirty business. Netflix maintains that obtaining this footage was fully legal, but Combs' team insists the tapes were stolen and represent a serious invasion of privacy, serious enough that they're preparing further legal action. The transcript also questions why these recordings, if they were meant for Combs' own documentary, weren't secured. Was it overconfidence? A belief that nothing he recorded could ever be used against him? Or something deeper, a sense that his influence could keep any damaging material buried? Whatever the reason, the transcript points out the sharp irony. The same man who spent decades mastering image control now has his most vulnerable moments broadcast on Netflix, with 50 Cent credited as executive producer. Money and power play heavily into the picture as well. The transcript mentions ongoing rumors that Combs was moving assets overseas in the days leading up to his arrest, something the documentary hints at without fully unpacking. If those claims hold weight, the transcript notes they could factor into the broader RICO investigation that once put him at serious legal risk. Although he was acquitted of racketeering charges, prosecutors still portrayed him as someone operating with a tight circle of loyalists who helped support his lifestyle. The documentary reportedly digs deeper into these financial threads, suggesting the tapes might just scratch the surface. A former associate, speaking anonymously in the transcript, claims Combs had a network of people ready to handle situations, whether that meant quieting accusers or smoothing over problems behind the scenes. And according to insiders referenced in the transcript, if the FBI is still looking into these matters, the recordings could be the spark that leads to a new wave of charges.
Likely what's going to happen, but now there's an added element to this, an added element of drama. Diddy is going to speak. He has some things he wants to say to the judge, to the court, and he has actually filed a request with the judge that he can wear street clothes instead of his prison jumpsuit because he wants to look good for whatever.
According to the transcript, the emotional tension surrounding Combs' family adds another layer to the chaos. His twins have been his most visible supporters, standing beside him in court, giving emotional statements and breaking down when the verdict was announced. It's a striking scene, children standing by their father at his lowest point. But critics quoted in the transcript argue that the display also feels like a coordinated PR effort, one that becomes harder to sustain as more accusations surface. Online, the contrast is sharp. On one side, Combs as the devoted father. On the other, the version described in accusations and leaked recordings, someone allegedly berating a former partner and linked to claims of exploitation over the years. The documentary, as the transcript describes it, leans directly into this split. It shows warm family moments, then cuts to testimony that paints a far harsher image. It's intentional, designed to make viewers confront the same dilemma jurors faced. How do you reconcile the man seen in court with the man heard in those hotel room recordings? The transcript also highlights another angle, the drama involving past relationships. According to sources quoted in the transcript, 50 Cent's team leaned heavily on the revelations involving Daphne Joy, not only because of her former connection to Combs, but because of what her story represents. The transcript portrays Combs as someone who may have blurred the line between personal and business, using relationships in ways that felt transactional. Claims about Joy's alleged presence at private gatherings, the monthly payments, and leaked audio of Combs losing his temper all contribute to the documentary's main argument, that the issue wasn't just intimacy, it was control. The transcript even brings up how 50 Cent's other ex, Shaniqua Tompkins, publicly resurfaced details about Joy's past, calling her a former entertainer from Las Vegas. The transcript frames this not as gossip, but as a reminder of how many secrets surrounded Combs' world, and how those secrets carried consequences.
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, "You don't do a freak off, I'm going to release one of the freak off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate."
According to the transcript, the fallout from the documentary is already widening. Misa Hilton, Combs' ex and the mother of his oldest son, has reportedly been approached about doing her own tell-all, potentially with the same director behind the reckoning. Text messages cited by media outlets show Hilton in early conversations with filmmaker Alexandria Stapleton, who expresses interest in highlighting all that you contributed to hip-hop and Bad Boy. In other words, the story isn't close to finished. Hilton's involvement could open a new chapter, especially considering her long, complicated history with Combs. She even appeared at his trial using a walker, a moment the transcript describes as quiet but meaningful. At the same time, other former associates are said to be considering whether to speak out as well, some drawn by attention, others by the possibility of a payout. In this environment, the transcript suggests that staying silent isn't just choosing not to participate, it risks being seen as part of the problem. The documentary also spends significant time on the Shakur angle. The claim from former gang member Keefe D that Combs offered a $1 million bounty related to the Shakur shooting isn't new, but when placed alongside the pre-arrest recordings, the transcript says it lands differently. The documentary presents it as part of a broader pattern, portraying Combs as someone who allegedly used influence and money to shape events, and who is now being confronted by the consequences of that behavior. Combs has always denied any involvement in Shakur's death, but the inclusion of the allegation, along with Keefe D's proffer agreement with authorities, signals that the filmmakers believe the full story has not yet been told. The transcript adds that if the LAPD's continued look into Combs' past ties to West Coast tensions produces anything new, this situation could shift from a scandal to a full-scale reckoning.
I don't know this, but it just seems very suspicious when you go through and you look at in the history of different people that can make you go away if you listen. I'm worried about some of the things that I talk about on my show.
According to the transcript, perhaps the most striking detail is how Combs' own habit of recording everything has become a vulnerability. The documentary reportedly shows him filming himself in mirrors, ranting about his accusers, and even joking about the legal troubles closing in. The transcript frames it as though he couldn't stop documenting his own downfall, capturing moments that now serve to show a man who believed he was untouchable, right up until he wasn't. The contrast between his public and private personas is stark. There's the Combs who partied with presidents and dated supermodels, and then there's the version captured in private, a man who, according to the footage, seems overwhelmed. The documentary, as described in the transcript, uses these moments to make viewers confront both sides of the story, but the transcript notes that the stakes go beyond the past. With civil lawsuits still active, a possible appeal pending, and a Netflix special keeping his name in the headlines, the bigger question is what remains when the dust settles. Will Combs be remembered as a mogul who reshaped the game, or as a cautionary tale about power, ego, and the consequences of unchecked ambition? And with 50 Cent still involved, the transcript hints that there could be even more recordings, secrets, and revelations yet to come.
So maybe the judge is going to give him more than time served.
But we should say that the maximum he could get is 20 years.
And that's what I want to get into for a minute, because this is some racist you-know-what, this man.
So, according to the transcript, we're left with a man who built an empire on control, now watching it unravel, one leaked tape, one lawsuit, one betrayal at a time. The reckoning isn't coming. It's already here, but with grudges this deep and stakes this high, the transcript asks the big question: what secret is Combs still holding, one even 50 Cent hasn't revealed? The story, it suggests, is far from over. So stay curious, keep watching, and remember, in the high-stakes world of hip-hop, the crown always comes with a price. Keep your eyes open and your popcorn ready.